There is a question that every human avoids, not because it is dangerous, but because once you hear it, you can never return to who you were before. It is not, "What do I want?" or "Who am I?" No, the real question is far quieter, far sharper, and far more unsettling. Why do I believe what I believe? The moment this question appears, your entire reality begins to tremble. Not violently, but precisely, like a fault line finally waking under the earth. Because beliefs are not just ideas. Beliefs are worlds. And you've been living inside a world, built from thoughts. You never chose. You were born into a story about what life is, a story about what success means, a story about what is possible and what is not. You inherited fear without questioning it. You inherited doubt without testing it. You inherited limits from people who never tested theirs. You accepted the map, without ever checking if the territory was real. But then, one day, something cracks. A small thought. A strange feeling. A moment of perspective that didn't exist the day before. Maybe it came during silence, or boredom, or exhaustion. Maybe life pushed you so far that the old explanation stopped working. Either way, it appears. A whisper. What if everything I've been told about life is incomplete? From that moment, you can no longer live on autopilot. Because once you see the frame, you begin to notice the walls. Once you see the walls, you begin to look for the door. And once you find the door, you start wondering why you stayed inside for so long. You begin to question the pace of life. Why does everyone rush? Rushing to where? To what? For whom? You question the pressure. Who decided what enough means? Who decided what worth is? And why did you accept it? You question your fears. Whose voice is it really? Yours? Or someone long gone, but still living inside your thoughts? The world becomes strange. Familiar, but hollow. Known, but suddenly fragile. The job, the goals, the plans, the people you once imitated, the people you once feared. Everything looks like a structure, built out of assumptions. And you ask yourself, if I didn't know how old I am, if I didn't know what I should be, how differently would I live? This question changes people. Not quickly, not loudly, but permanently. You stop chasing the life you were told to want. You start searching for the life that quietly calls you when no one else is listening. You notice your thoughts like shadows. Some follow you. Some control you. Some protect you. Some imprison you. But for the first time, you ask them, do you belong to me? Or do I belong to you? This is the birth of awareness, not enlightenment. Awareness. The ability to step outside your own mind and see it working from above, like watching the weather instead of being caught in the storm. You start noticing when fear speaks, when expectation speaks, when society speaks, when family speaks, when the past speaks. And then, quietly, you begin listening for the one voice that has always been drowned out, your own. There is a moment. Every awakened person reaches it. When they realize something terrifying, most people never meet themselves. They meet versions of themselves. Built from pressure, from survival, from habit, from the need to be accepted. They never ask the question, what part of me is real, and what part is inherited? And so they live lives that are technically theirs, but spiritually borrowed. But you ask the question. And once you do, life stops behaving the way it used to. You stop forcing things. You stop pretending. You stop following paths. Just because everyone else walks them, you become uncomfortably honest. Quietly rebellious, unapologetically curious. People may say you've changed. But the truth is, you've returned. Returned to the person you were. Before fear taught you to shrink. Before society taught you to perform. Before expectations taught you to forget. Now, something new begins. Your inner world starts reordering itself. Thoughts lose their old authority. Feelings stop being warnings and become messages. Silence transforms from emptiness into clarity. You're no longer living from habit. You're living from intention. Life stops happening to you. It starts happening through you. Then comes the final stage, the one most people never reach. You stop asking, what should I believe? And instead ask, what is true for me? This is the moment you step outside. Every story you were taught, every expectation you carried, every limit you inherited. This is the moment you begin. Not a new life, but your first real one. Because the greatest transformation does not begin with answers. It begins with a single, quiet, dangerous question. Why do I believe what I believe? Ask it once, and your entire world begins to open. Ask it twice, and your old world begins to collapse. Live inside the answer, and you will never again be the version of you that the world tried to shape. You will finally be the version of you that you came here to become.